Good evening. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortions. The majority in cases from Texas and Georgia said that the decision to end a pregnancy during the first 3 months belongs to the woman and her doctor, not the government.
For nearly half a century, the spread of moral relativism and the desire to reject traditional moral ideals has wreaked havoc around the world.
Used a machine he invented to help a 54-year-old woman take her life.
You can look at me and say, you're a criminal, then throw me in jail. But keep me there, because if I get out, I'll do it again.
Back to the big news of the day, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling 5-4 to legalize same-sex marriage in the entire country.
With society challenging moral and virtuous living at every opportunity, attacks on religious liberty and the sanctity of life increase every single day.
Would you let your teenage daughter purchase an emergency contraceptive, sometimes called the morning after pill?
As part of the healthcare reform law that I signed last year, all insurance plans are required to cover preventive care at no cost. Preventive care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
Throughout its history, Belmont Abbey has been at the forefront of the fight to defend life and religious liberty from those who seek to destroy them. But compassionate, intelligent, and steadfast Christians are needed in every organization, in every city and state, in every courtroom, and at every level of government to defend the Christian ideals that form the very foundation of our way of living.
You know, religious liberty is described as the first freedom, and I think if we don't get that right, that in some way the American experiment will have failed. But it would be hard, I think, to talk about the last quarter century of American law without talking about Leonard.
There are a lot of temptations in our society today to back off Christian principles, or really any principles, in order to promote oneself. One thing that's very clearly the character of Leonard Leo is his commitment to be faithful to what he believes, as well as to be effective in a political sense in our society.
If we have a certain possession of ourselves and a knowledge of ourselves, which is really what humility, I think, is, an accurate perception of oneself before God, before oneself, and before others, then there's a certain solidity and stability that comes with that, a decreased drive to put out favorable press releases about oneself.
I think Leonard is driven by a profound belief that freedom of religion, conscience, and belief is a bedrock right. That all the other precious liberties that we value and cherish as we should, to some degree flow from a protection and a vigilant protection of this very basic right.
Without leaders, we tend to flounder, and one of the things that's very characteristic of Leonard Leo is his courageous leadership.
Leonard, particularly with his leadership in the Federalist Society, his leadership in the judicial selection process, has done very much to provide a counterforce and to promote the idea of protecting religious liberty through protecting the Constitution.
With the 2018 Benedict Leadership Award, the Benedict Leadership Institute is proud to salute Leonard Leo for his leadership and dedication to the defense of religious liberty and for his personal witness to the sanctity of human life.